Gosport, Paul, and Gosport's unbeaten record, you're saying slightly harder work for you than you thought it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the game fairly, and obviously we'll get the main match and highlights thanks to Sutton United FC, fantastic camera work, but we missed 7 one-on-ones before the inevitable pressure came in the last 15 minutes. So to have to watch it in that state of flux almost for that last 15 I found it quite hard to accept in the game. And then Ross Warner ends up getting man of the match on the back of 2 fantastic penalty saves and then 2 additional saves. But if you look at the whole game, we should have been out of sight. Half time we should have been 5-6, 1 up, and that's because they had 1 penalty. They didn't have another chance in the whole of the first half. So, we were determined to keep a clean sheet. I think you got the gist of that from last week's interview and what we've done in training. So the players are particularly pleased. But I did feel the last 15 minutes, Gosport put a lot of pressure onto us, and Ross has shown what a fantastic goalkeeper he is. And I've got to say, I thought both goalkeepers were magnificent. I mean, Nathan Ashmore's probably made one of the best saves from Craig McAllister's header that I've ever seen. That's how good it was. It was in, and I think Gosport and us are very lucky to have 2 such good goalkeepers.
And say sort of in front of goal at this point, but to dominate a game against a side that's unbeaten must be encouraging.
Yeah, I think, as I said before, Gosport have got an unbelievable team spirit. They've got a good, strong squad as well. And what they've done is they've, I think Alex would say it himself, they've not necessarily dominated games, but they've got out of games with wins. And I felt that that's what we wanted to do today. Not necessarily be the best looking team, but be the team that actually won a football match. Because I was fed up the weeks before playing the attractive football, but conceding 2 and 3 goals. So this, today was a bit of both. We felt we'd go for it in that final third, but also we weren't prepared to commit the full-backs forward as much as we have been.
So talk back just before we came on, talk about Craig McAllister scored the decisive goal and to go decent centre forwards performance. I
thought he was excellent. He's done the typical centre forward with the blood around his shirt and head and Terry Butcher-esque, and he carried on. But he gives us a massive outlet, and he was very good today. And of course, when you've got Fleetwood and Stern and Fitchett around him, that's a front four that would trouble most teams. And they do play once Craig gets it down. I thought some of the football we played in that first half in the final third was fantastic. I'm just getting disappointed that we don't come in 3 and 4-0 up, which we deserve to be.
And then it does put the goalkeeper under pressure, and he's had a sort of few
moments. The goalkeeper, it puts me under pressure. That's why the last 15-20 minutes aren't overly enjoyable for a manager, because all you care about is winning. And you come in and said what a great game, really entertaining. But for me, it's been a difficult afternoon that last 20 minutes, and it didn't need to be.
But sort of saying about the goalkeeper, he's had some moments this season, but it's good to see him have such a good game today.
Yeah, well, I said to Ross earlier, he probably deserved that luck, stroke, not the luck, but even just the game that he had, because he's been playing very, very well, but unfortunately an odd error, Truro, has popped in, or he's come for a punch and might have missed it. But we do know that we've got one of the best goalkeepers since Kevin Scriven here, we know that. More importantly, he's a great lad as well, and he's bought into what we're doing, and he's very popular. And he got a big round of applause from the players when he came in, and rightly so. But they know he's a good goalkeeper as well, and that's important in your dressing room, to know that your keeper's rated.
Injuries news. I saw Mickey Spillane on the sidelines today. Was that the injury, or was he
No. Mickey was left out of the 16 today, as was Lewis John, and as was Tommy Wright. It's the first time that we've had any competition. We won 2 games in the previous 8, and I felt we needed to have a freshness about us. So Mickey's not happy, and rightly so, but that was a decision that was made, and when you win 1-0 you can turn around and say, well, we got it right. Tough call, but we just felt the midfield wasn't quite right in the previous games. It hadn't been right last season, and we've given him a good chance this year in the 8 games that started off, and he's not out of the frame at all. It's up to Mickey how he responds, but there is competition for places now. Frost Stern had scored from that brilliant bit of play from Betsy first minute into the second half, and we go 2-0 up. Everyone's talking about that bit of skill from Betsy Gomez. But we worked, we pressured in the midfield today. We had good legs in the midfield, and that's something which has been an improvement from recent weeks.
I'm pleased with the 2 new players.
Yeah, Betsy, we sort of know what we're getting. Occasionally it frustrates you, but I thought Craig Eastman today was solid. Not spectacular, but solid. Gave us a good base, and some of this passing, the passing for the first goal, was a pass of the match probably. So from that point of view, he's assisted the goal. It's nice for Sterney to get an assist as well, with a cross. But as I said, Tony, the one thing I'll reflect on tonight when we watch Ricky Boylan, we're going up there to support Ricky, would be, could we have stopped this last 15-20 minutes of panic.
And one unbeaten record ended today. Another one, well, not knowing how they got on today, but facing possibly another one at Ipswich on Tuesday. Another tough away game.
Yeah, good side, good manager, good club, and you know it's up to the rest of us to keep trying to do something about the run that they're on. The league's not won and lost. We know that in September, but they're a good side, and Daryl's got them playing well. He's a good friend of mine, Daryl, and unlike other managers who perhaps are jealous of perhaps what's going on up there, or other people that are jealous of what's going on up there, good luck to them, because it's a pressure in itself what they're under. It's a different type of pressure. But we can go there knowing we've got 3 points at home. I've kept saying to you, if you can win your home games and you get something away from home, then you're not going to be far away.